They said that Somi jumped to her death. Somi didn't jump. It was a totally different story. Kick back, relax, as I bring you inside family information about how Somi died and the plans she was making in the weeks leading up to her death. Hello everybody. Once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Helen TV. And as usual, I like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you depending on where you are around the world. Hello. It really takes a lot for me to come back to follow up on a story that's already done. Yesterday, I brought to you my perspective of a very sad news that came out of Nigeria, the death of Somi, Maduagu, an Arise News TV anchor. The story didn't stop there, and that's why I decided to do this follow-up, which I think you're really gonna appreciate. Even the regular news stations, many of them don't have the information that I'm going to bring you here. So the public really understands the risks we go through day by day living in Nigeria as Nigeria continues to happen on a daily basis. The additional information I found on what led to Somi's death will follow immediately after this brief musical interlude.
Tonight I think of my home, the home where I was born. I think of my family and the poor farmhouse we had. There in my home, we had no sophistication. We had no timepiece, the cockcrow and the sun, all we had. Rise early at sunup.
We know about Somi's work at Arise TV. Stellar work, I must say. We've also learned a little about her academic background because we found out she's also a lawyer, besides being a journalist, a renowned journalist in Nigeria. But what we don't know is, we know that she's from Anambra State, but where in Anambra State? Somi's father is from Agulu in Anambra State, and her mother is from Isoko in Delta State. Two very happy families of in-laws. Somi felt very comfortable in Agulu, and she felt just as comfortable in Isoko. As a matter of fact, just 3 weeks ago, Somi was in Morocco with her siblings and her parents to attend the wedding of her cousin, her first cousin, her mother's older sister's daughter. It was a beautiful event, and everybody who attended said that Somi was full of life. As a matter of fact, at the end, because she was so close to her cousin who got married, it was Somi who gave the vote of thanks or some kind of toast to her cousin. Fast forward back to Abuja. The building where Somi lived in Abuja may be in a good area of Abuja, but not necessarily the best maintained building in Abuja. And according to the stories I heard, in the last few weeks, Somi has been busy looking for a new place to move to, because in the last week or two, armed robbers had also attacked another apartment building close to Somi. So this was bothering her. Now, when they came into the building and got to Somi's apartment, they kicked down the front door and kicked down the bathroom door, thinking she was there. She had run to the balcony. Somi did not jump out of the balcony. Somi was hiding in the balcony and holding on to the railings, not knowing that the railings in the balcony were caving in, and her weight is what pulled the railings, and she crashed to the ground. When she crashed to the ground, she didn't die right away. If emergency service had gotten there, chances are Somi will be in the hospital today struggling for her life with a good possibility of surviving. But emergency services did not get there soon enough. And when they finally came, police said they did not have petrol to take her to a hospital. They had to go out and get 1 gallon of petrol to put in the car to get her to the hospital. And probably by the time she got to the hospital, Somi may have already been dead. This is very critical for the living because it happened to Somi. It could be any of us. It could be any of our daughters. It could be any of our nieces. Nigerians need to wake up and understand that it's time to find sustainable change, to move our country into the civilized world where people don't have to die because they don't trust that emergency services will come. If Somi knew that she could depend on Nigeria's emergency services, chances are she'll hide in there and call emergency services. And chances are before these people got to her apartment, the emergency services may have arrived. But that's a tall order in the country you and I call home. But we can't give up. We have to continue to fight to make sure that the Somis of Nigeria and the Barnabases, the gate man at the apartment complex who was shot dead, we have to make sure that their lives were not wasted in vain. It's up to every one of us. It doesn't matter how wealthy or how poor you are. There's not a single poor person that lived in the apartment complex that Somi lived in. They may not be the richest Nigerians, but they were very comfortable. And when they moved there because they thought it was safe. There's no place that is safe in Nigeria. It's time for us, every one of us, to know that we are responsible for doing what it takes to bring change to Nigeria. On the flip side, we are all responsible and complacent if change, and I mean positive change, doesn't come to Nigeria. And how can I sign out without bringing you one more time that magic voice of Somi ringing across the world with news from the country she loved?
Hello to our viewers in the US and around the world. I am Somi Maduagu coming to you from Nigeria's capital. I am Somi Maduagu coming to you from Nigeria's capital. I am Somi Maduagu coming to you from Nigeria's capital.
And then the candle burned out. Yes, the candle burned out. Somi's candle burned out long before her legend ever lived. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Fred Wanko coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Island TV. And until next time, good night and God bless.
We've undertaken to make a difference. Our foundation is passionate about empowering communities and fostering growth. We are grateful for the opportunity. We invite you to follow us on our social media, Facebook and Instagram at Munacha Charity Support Foundation. You can also reach out to us via these platforms or through email if you have any questions. In the same vein, we'd like to extend our gratitude to all our supporters and partners.
Fred Wanko Publisher African Lifestyle Magazine Chicago Wanko in the Chicago Jemba Onya Chukukosi Amano Parago Yogi Yola Oh no let me I'm a regular idea one with Arabazuti. Hey! Let's wait in door. Anabala must take one day, Namanatana. Oh, we will want the village in the way. Any mama do, any mama do. When I'm a dog, you man, the low one.